saying that you have the right to own the whole of. Why are they calling us chosen?
No, why don't you ask me? Why don't you ask me?
Babies in the month of Ramadan.
Why
2,000 homes, the whole of
nothing worse than an ignorant man that doesn't.
You lot are terrorists.
That's what the Quran says. I don't say that.
Zionism is
The Quran says. My father told me a very, very powerful message. Never argue with idiots because they drag you down to your level and beat with experience. And I'm calling you an idiot.
You're very smart.
Yeah, and I'm calling you an idiot.
You're a terrorist. Look, it says Zionist, terrorist. Remember that Zionism will go down in history as
my friend, you're a Muslim, yeah? The overwhelming majority of terrorist acts today are carried out by Muslims.
Which Muslim? How do you know they're Muslim? How do you know they're Muslim?
Because they quote the Quran, they quote the Hadith.
How do you know? How do you know they're Muslim?
Because I, like you, know Islam.
United Nations.
Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath. Take a deep breath first. Take a deep breath.
Stop the settlement. What happened? They don't care about United Nations. They don't care about
me.
They don't care about.
Are you finished? Are you ready to listen? So you asked a question at the beginning. I'm going to answer both your questions. You have to remain silent while I answer. Zionism is simply the belief that the Jews have a right to a homeland in their ancestral land.
Not all Jews.
I'm giving you the definition of Zionism. Like, if we're having an intellectual conversation, you have to be able to keep up. I can't explain everything.
Go ahead.
So, Zionism is simply the belief that Jews have a right to their ancestral home, to a homeland in their ancestral home. That's Zionism. Now, you talked about Orthodox Judaism, yeah? Orthodox Judaism. Orthodox is a Greek word, yeah? Which it describes, I believe it's a Greek word, it describes a movement of Jews, or it was used to describe a movement of Jews in Europe around 300 years ago, yeah? Before 300 years ago, the word Orthodox didn't exist. There were just Jews that followed the Torah and the Talmud, yeah? So that's what Jews are. So when you talk about Orthodox not supporting Zionism, you're talking about two small sects, pretty much. One's called Neturei Karta, and one's called Satmar. Satmar has a few thousand followers, Neturei Karta a few hundred followers. The overwhelming majority of Orthodox Jews, secular Jews, progressive Jews who aren't Orthodox, all support Zionism, all support Israel. Yeah? So when you run your mouth and you tell a Jew that Jews don't support Zionism, Jews don't support Israel, you sound really stupid because you clearly speak from a place of ignorance.
You have the right to own the whole of. Why are they calling us chosen?
No, why don't you ask me? Why don't you ask me?
Babies in the month of Ramadan.
Why
2,000 homes, the whole of
nothing worse than an ignorant man that doesn't.
You lot are terrorists.
That's what the Quran says. I don't say that.
Zionism is
the
terrorism.
Quran says that we're chosen. I don't say that.
Zionism is terrorism. Zionism, they are murderers on the child killers. We know that. They showed it the whole world news. Do you believe that?
My father told me a very, very powerful message. Never argue with idiots because they drag you down to your level and beat with experience. And I'm calling you an idiot.
You're very smart.
Yeah, and I'm calling you an idiot.
You're a terrorist. Look, it says Zionist, terrorist. Remember that Zionism will go down in history as.
My friend, you're a Muslim, yeah? The overwhelming majority of terrorist acts today are carried out by Muslims.
Which Muslim? How do you know they're Muslim? How do you know they're Muslim?
Because they quote the Quran, they quote the Hadith.
How do you know? How do you know they're Muslim?
Because I, like you, know Islam. Yeah. Muslims are murdering Muslims in Syria at a rate that no other.
Sunni and Shia.
Sunni, Shia, it doesn't matter. Yeah. Any denomination, any sect of Islam, with the exception.
Are they occupying other people's land?
Of course they are.
No,
of course they are.
They're not occupying other people's land.
Okay, so
you're a terrorist and you should go back to Israel.
Are you running away from the debate? You run your mouth and then you run away. You run your mouth and run away. Like a true ignoramus, you bury your head in the sand. Jog on, my friend, jog on. Peace.
To see more videos like this, subscribe to Titans TV down below. Thanks.
The greatest darky that bite with shark teeth and hate malarkey. Who you? The greatest heartbeat, ancient Egypt as a matriarchy. Who me? The one with the S on his chest when the motherfucker go by. Who you? The one everybody calls your highness cause the weed got you feeling so high.